Hello, today I'm going to show you how to create this photo cube. For this project you will need 3 photos. An equal aspect ratio works the best. Let's open a new document. Change the stroke to none and the fill to light yellow. Now press the letter M for the rectangle tool or select it from the toolbar panel and single click on the artboard. Be sure the chain link is on and then type a desired value to create a square. The size of the square should match the size of the photo. Because my photos are 2000 by 2000 pixels, I'm going to type 2000 for the width and the height. If you don't have your photos already cropped to the correct size, you can do it in Illustrator as well. First go to File, Place, find your photo and then click Place. Now single click on the artboard to place your photo. Next we need to crop it to match the size of our square. With the photo still selected, click on the Crop Image button from the tab toolbar. Make sure the chain link to constrain the width and height proportions is on, and then type the same value as we used for our square. Press the Tab key on your keyboard to see the results. Now position the cropped portion over a desired area and then select Apply from the tab toolbar. And now our photo matches the size of our square. I'm going to delete this photo and use my other photos I've cropped earlier. So again, go to File, Place. We can select all 3 photos at once and then click Place. You will notice that the cursor shows one of 3 photos. Single click on the artboard 3 times to place all 3 photos one by one. Next we'll create symbols. First open the Symbols panel. If you can't see it, go to Window and select Symbols. Let's open the sublayers of layer 1. You will notice that all 3 photos are displayed as linked files. Before we can create symbols, our linked files need to be unlinked. If we try to make a symbol out of a linked image, Illustrator will display this message: a symbol definition cannot contain a linked image. To do it right, first select all 3 photos and then click on the Embed button from the tab toolbar. Now all linked files are displayed as images and we are ready to create symbols. Click on the first photo and drag it into the Symbols panel. Give it a name if you like and then click OK. And repeat this with the other photos. We can close this panel and move our photos away from the artboard. Next, we will create a 3D cube. Be sure the square is selected and then go to Effect, 3D and Materials, 3D Classic and choose Extrude and Bevel. To create a cube, we need to adjust the extrude depth to the size of our square. In my case, it's going to be 2000 points. Now we can rotate the cube or choose any of the presets. We can also adjust the perspective. Experiment with these settings to see what works for you. Next, we will place our photos on a cube using the Map Art function. Be sure the preview box is checked. There are 6 available surfaces to map a cube. For this project, we only need 3 visible surfaces. You will notice a red border around the selected surface. The light gray box in the preview window indicates that the selected surface is visible. With the visible surface selected, open the Symbols pull-down menu and choose one of the symbols we've created. Let's select the next surface, number 2. You will notice a dark gray square, which indicates that the surface is hidden. Let's skip it. The surface number 3 is hidden as well. And so is the surface number 4. The surface number 5 is visible and we need to map it with the next photo. Open the Symbols pull-down menu and select the next photo. If the position of your photo is not what you expected, hover your mouse over one of the corners, click, hold and drag to rotate it. And let's choose the last surface and select the last photo from the Symbols pull-down menu. Adjust the rotation if needed. Click OK and OK again. If we need to go back and edit our cube, first be sure the cube is selected and then open the Appearance panel. Now select the 3D Extrude and Bevel and edit the effect. When you are done, click OK. If the yellow fill color is showing through at the edges of your cube, pick a desired color from here. Next, we are going to add a shadow. Let's create a new layer. Lock Layer 1, select Layer 2 and then switch to the Pen tool. Let's draw a shape that will overlap the top part of our cube. Zoom in and make sure all anchor points are aligned. Let's move it down. Click away to deselect, switch to the Selection tool and bring these two anchor points closer. Let's move Layer 2 to the bottom and align these corners. Zoom out. While you are holding down the Shift key, move the shadow shape to the right. Next, switch to the Add Anchor Point tool and click on this path to add an extra anchor point. Using the Direct Selection tool, move this anchor point to align with this corner. And move this anchor point to align with the top right anchor point. Let's change the fill to gray. Next, go to Effect, Stylize and choose Feather. And adjust the radius. Let's add one more anchor point and move it just below this edge. And adjust these two anchor points. If you want to change the shadow's direction, first select only these 3 anchor points. And now click on one of them, hold and drag. Because the light is coming from the left, the photo on the right side of the cube should be a little darker. We can adjust it in Photoshop prior, or we can do it in Illustrator. Let's create a new layer and lock Layer 2. Now switch to the Pen tool and draw a shape that will overlap the right side of the cube. Now set the fill to black and move this layer to the top. Make sure all anchor points are aligned. Now open the transparency window and lower the opacity to about 30%. If you wish to add text, first create a new layer, switch to the Type tool and type your text. Let's bring it down, move it closer and make sure that the last letter is aligned with the edge of the cube. My text is already aligned properly. Depending on the rotation of a cube, this may look quite different for you. If you need to adjust the alignment, first make sure the bottom of the last letter is aligned with the edge of the cube. Now press the letter R for the Rotate tool and click on this edge to set the rotation point. Next, click, hold and drag to adjust the alignment. Make sure the text is selected and then choose the Free Transform tool from the toolbar panel. Next, position your cursor over the center left side of the bounding box and drag it up to align with the bottom edge of the cube. Try to adjust the other side of the bounding box to get the best fit. If you wish, change the fill to a different color or get a color sample from a photograph. First, unlock all layers. Bring a photo that you would like to get a color sample from closer. Zoom in. Select the text. Switch to the eyedropper tool and click on a photo to get a desired color sample. Let's move this photo away from the artboard. Next, we will add an extra effect. First, select the text and then go to Effect, Stylize and choose Drop Shadow. Now adjust the values to get a look you desire. To place text on the top of the cube, first let's duplicate it. Place the bottom of the T to align with the top right edge. Open the Appearance panel and let's turn off the Drop Shadow. Be sure the text is selected and then press the letter R for the Rotate tool. Click on this edge to set the rotation point and then click, hold and drag to align the edge of the T with the edge of the cube. Let's zoom out. Be sure the text is selected and then press the letter E to switch to the Free Transform tool. Now adjust the position and rotation like we did previously. The text is fully editable and we can change it at any time. Let's adjust it a little bit more. Now apply the Drop Shadow effect. If you wish, sample a color from a photograph. And adjust the Drop Shadow a little bit more. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.